SATCOM shows hostiles approaching the embassy.
The U.S. Army does not endorse or promote Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, but they do have a healthy interest in seeing that we are representing the U.S. Army, and it's in their interest to see that that's done in a good way.
The Future Force Warrior program was developed in response to looking at that next generation soldier. I mean, we understood that, the soldiers walking around in the battle space with other vehicles and aircraft that have great standoff, great range, great capability. What we wanted to be able to do was migrate that to the individual soldier. So, as I have kind of coined the term, create an F-16 on legs, giving the individual soldier the same type of technology and capabilities that aircraft and vehicles have. The development of the Future Force Warrior has actually been going on for a number of years. We have constantly been looking at inserting technology onto the dismounted soldier. The issue has always been weight and power. And in the last 5 to 6 years, we've seen a dramatic decrease in wearable computer weight, for example. The Future Force Warrior program actually started around 2003 with the end state of going to an advanced technology demonstration in 2007 and then starting to field the Future Force Warrior system to our Army by 2010. That soldier will be part of a digital network that will allow he or she to talk to every other soldier, platform, unmanned, or manned vehicle, whether it be on the ground or in the air, and exchange data back and forth. The soldier will be able to see in day and night, greater standoff with weapons capability, redesigned body armor load carriage system that gives the soldier a greater protection against enemy ammunition or threat inside the battle space.
The U.S. Army itself, with the Natick Soldier Center, interacts with us in an authenticity capacity. When we talk about the Future Force Warrior, they want to make sure that it is represented as correctly as possible. And when we do the integrated warfighter system, they want to give us some pointers and things like that to make sure that we're not going totally off in the wrong direction. Nowadays, there are a lot of different military games out there. And while other development studios, if they were, say, modeling an AT-4 anti-tank weapon, might find pictures off the internet or in books, or maybe work off a model like this for reference, here at Red Storm, we just have an actual AT-4 to work off of. Over the years, we've developed a number of relationships with military gear suppliers. These companies provide us with the real-life gear to work from for reference. When our character guys are working on the Serpa Blackhawk holster, they actually have that in their hands that they can look at, and they can get the colors off of, and they can see what the textures are like and feel it. They can put a Beretta M9 in it and see how it functions and everything like that, so that their understanding of these things, they're not just looking at pictures off the internet to create this. They've actually got the real gear to work from. The integrated warfighter system is our in-game version of the Future Force Warrior. It was inspired by the real thing. We're able to adjust things slightly to make a better gameplay experience versus what might be real life, or we're able to extrapolate what we think might be the final version of this system. In a lot of movies and video games about modern soldiers, you'll see the basic battle dress uniform, or BDU. Well, the battle dress uniform for the Ghosts in Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter is a whole new animal. This thing is really designed down to every stitch to be exactly what the soldier needs in those high stress, high movement, high heat environments. It's very tight fitting and sort of formed to the soldier so that the Ghosts can move quickly. They don't have to worry about getting snagged on things in the environment and stuff like that. The Crye Precision Armor Chassis System is the main armor piece that you see on the Ghosts in the game. The armor plates actually don't sit right up against the soldier, they stand off a little bit. The advantages of this is that air can pass behind the plates, allowing for some passive cooling. And it also means when those plates are impacted by things like fragmentation or bullet rounds, they actually have somewhere to move to other than into the soldier's body.
We're very lucky in that here at the Natick Soldier Center, we're responsible for the science and technology that goes into everything the soldier wears, carries, consumes, lives in, and lands to the ground safely under. We actually did the first load carriage study in the Army since roughly about 1943, and we found that our soldiers are wearing upwards of 120 pounds of external load. That's just gear. We have taken a conscious approach to really kind of strip the soldier down to skin and then build that soldier skin in and skin out, allowing the soldier to be lighter, more lethal, and more capable. I can't walk into an 18-year-old's room, whether that 18-year-old be a soldier or be a civilian, and not find an Xbox, a PlayStation 2, a computer, a PDA, a cell phone, a BlackBerry, for example. Well, those same individuals are soldiers. So they are very not only excited but welcoming of the fact that we're inserting that technology and giving that capability to the individual soldier.
The relationship with the various military contacts is really fantastic. I mean, in the end, you are able to interact with people who are putting their lives on the line every day to protect you and I. They're fantastic people. They're always willing to help, and they have a great interest in seeing what they do and what they use to perform their duties represented as realistically as we possibly can within the constraints of time and technical constraints.
We are developing the Future Force Warrior for roughly the 2010 timeframe. That being said, we know that there are technologies that are going to mature faster, and we're going to try to put those in the field earlier. However, we're not going to rest on our laurels, and we're looking at that next generation. What we hope to see in that soldier system, is really what we see in science fiction movies and that we've read about in books. A self-encapsulated soldier, very streamlined, potentially one uniform system that does it all. Integration of nanotechnology, not only for camouflage, but also body armor capability. The mating of the exoskeleton that saw great popularity in the Aliens films is actually a program that's being pursued inside the Department of Defense now, so they don't have to be so concerned about load for the individual soldier. Not to mention I can move larger things around that I myself wouldn't be able to do with my own body weight. Advanced fuel cell technologies, for example, that give soldier a greater battery life in more of a traditional sense, as well as greater situational awareness. We want to be able to put radar that would normally be an aircraft at the individual soldier level so that soldier can see in 360 degrees all the time. I make the analogy. The Future Force Warrior is the F-16 on legs. That being said, the next generation soldier, which we now call the Future Warrior concept, will be our F-117 stealth fighter.